When Vladimir Putin finally spoke about the worst terrorist attack to hit Russia in 20 years, he swept over the glaring failure of his security state to prevent the assault, which left at least 133 dead, despite a clear warning from the United States on March 7 that a strike on a concert hall could be imminent. He also made no reference to the Islamic State, which claimed responsibility for the attack at the Crocus City Concert Hall on Friday and which Putin denounced repeatedly as an enemy throughout Russia's long military intervention in Syria. In 2017, Putin declared victory over the Islamic State, also known as ISIS. Putin instead used his 5-minute televised address on Saturday to emphasize that the 4 direct perpetrators were moving toward Ukraine when they were detained and that a window was prepared for them from the Ukrainian side to cross the state border. He did not directly accuse Ukraine, which has denied any involvement, but a reference to Nazis, his usual label for the Ukrainian government, made clear that he was blaming Kiev. But the gruesome videos of the attackers with automatic weapons coldly murdering innocent concertgoers and setting ablaze one of the Russian capital's most popular entertainment venues smashed through Putin's efforts to present Russia as strong, united and resilient. The strike occurred just 5 days after his triumphant claim of a new 6-year term in an election that was heavily controlled by the Kremlin and widely denounced abroad as failing to meet democratic standards. Putin used the election to assert huge public support for his policies. Despite Putin's rhetoric seeking to implicate Ukraine, analysts, former U.S. security officials and members of the Russian elite said the assault underscored the vulnerabilities of Putin's wartime regime, which were also evident when Yevgeny Prigozhin led his Wagner mercenaries in a brief mutiny aiming to oust top defense officials in June. The regime shows its weakness in such critical situations, just as it did during the mutiny by Prigozhin, said Andrei Kolesnikov, a senior fellow with the Carnegie Russia-Eurasia Center. Though Prigozhin abandoned the uprising, the damage was clear. Then, as during this weekend's events, Putin did not appear for hours before finally addressing the emergency. In difficult moments, Putin always disappears, Kolesnikov said. Just 3 days before the Crocus City assault, Putin dismissed the U.S. warning about a potential imminent terrorist attack as open blackmail and as an attempt to frighten and destabilize our society. But with his authoritarian grip on power and virtually no one willing to challenge him, the Russian leader is unlikely to face any criticism or consequences for failing to take the warning more seriously.